98. And we are live.
We are. There we go.
We're on the. This is our 98 Center Table podcast with BD Randy here, and, Hollywood Matt Connelly, and we wanted to recap his trip to America a little bit and talk about what he's got going on in his life and stuff. So, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's weird to be a guest on the show. Normally, I'm the one hosting it. So
yeah. Well, I got to say, dude, when you came to America and you came to the Sean Latimer tournament and did some commentary for us, and you crushed it and had a really good time hanging out with you, man.
Yeah, I had a great time.
To finally meet you in person.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. No, it was a very unexpected change to what the trip was originally supposed to be.
Yeah.
But it worked out tremendously. And I got so much support from the people in the arm wrestling community. It was just unbelievable. People that I've never spoken to, never talked to before were reaching out, offering accommodation, lifts, practices, all sorts of favors, which was just blew me away, really. And I ended up sort of going around most of the country and meeting all these different people, going to all these different practices. I ended up on a reality TV show for a few weeks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy. And yeah, meeting yourself and Randy in person was always a privilege to be able to do that.
Oh,
and,
yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd ever meet you guys. So
No, that was cool. And it worked out good because actually, I mean, can we talk about this, how everything went down a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
So Matt was coming here to hang out with a friend for what, 2-3 months?
Yeah. So I was dating a girl from Miami, and that's what I was coming over there.
And then out of nowhere, I think you hit me up, and you're like, I think you were at the Miami airport, and you're like, dude, she like fucking threw me out or something, or she like had a meltdown and you left. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I'm like, okay, Florida. I'm like, let me hit up Mikey. Hold on. So I hit up Mikey thinking he knows everybody in Florida. And Mikey was like, have him call me, dude. He can come stay with me because I don't have anybody in my house right now. So it like just worked out perfectly. And then you flew to, what is it, Orlando Airport, and he picked you up there?
Yeah, so
one of those airports.
Tampa, one of the four.
Yeah.
It was an airport. I remember that.
It was an airport that a plane landed in on a runway, and he picked you up, and then you were there for a while.
Yeah.
Our Sean Latimer tournament was like, what, like mid-September? I don't know.
Yep.
Anyway, but it looked like you guys had fun because you were at the gym every day, and Mikey actually spoke super highly of you, saying like you were helping him at the gym, like you were stocking items and working out and helping out and stuff. And he thought that was great, and he said he's really glad that he got to spend time with you while you were there.
Oh, he's an awesome guy. And yeah, like if somebody's helping you out so much, it's like, well, what's anything that I can do to contribute back? And so it's like very simple stuff. And when he's doing his itemization and stock count in the gym, it's like, let me help you out. It's like, you want any cleaning? Yeah, let me sort that out. Just trying to be a good guest. And so I think those things are really important when somebody has opened their house to you, and especially driving me to his gym and allowing me to train there. And we were doing all sorts of fun stuff together. And we flew to Philadelphia airport where we met with you, and you drove us across to New Jersey for the Sean Latimer thing. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was strange. It's so strange for me because it was like I'm meeting people that I've talked to for a long time.
Right.
But I never actually thought I'll meet these people in person.
Yeah.
And then there you are.
Living that far away.
Yeah.
You know, the chances are a lot slimmer than, you know. That's how I feel every time I travel to like a different area of the United States. Like I get to meet people that I talk to on Facebook or this and that, but it's different when it's someone from like Australia or the UK, because you're like, I'll probably never meet that person in person, but you become friends with people just from the interactions on here, and then you meet in person and it feels like, you know, you were always friends, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Staying at Mikey's, did he request any like sexual favors or?
Not for me.
Well, goddamn! When I went down there, no, that's not fair. No.
Actually,
what an awesome guy.
I wanted to ask you about the Pro Gear gym that Mikey owns. He has 2 locations, I believe, down there. Yep. Do you like that hardcore style gym? Because, like, you know, it's not a Planet Fitness or one of those other, you know, corporate gyms. Do you like that hardcore atmosphere?
Yeah, it's different. It's probably one of the first ones that I've really trained in that had to that level where, you know, you could train with no shirt on. It's old school dungeon sort of equipment. Yeah. You know, I don't think there was any air conditioning. There was a fan on top, you know, so it's hot, it's sweaty, it's hard work. The machines are like, you know, older style. So it really gave that feel of like, you know, the 70s and 80s kind of grind. Yeah, the guys that were just hammering it out for hours in the gym. So it was really unique from that perspective. Plus he had a lot of like arm wrestling machines, which was really cool. There was one in particular, it was just one machine, but it had like 4 different, you know, it had like a grip thing up the top, and then like a pronation handle, and then some like underhand grips and grist curl stuff. I was like, where did you get one of these machines from? Yeah, it was.
Where did he get it? Was it like a Masarenko type thing, or?
No, it was just like I think it was just a forearm, like a forearm thing that he had managed to find and pick up.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's a cool gym, and you can see the atmosphere there is the people that want that style of workout. You know, they want to go and pose in the mirror. They want to work really hard. They want to get sweaty. They want to you know, not have that commercial atmosphere.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool though too, because like you said, the 70s and 80s style stuff. When you go back and look at videos of, you know, Dorian Yates, Lee Priest, you know, all these bodybuilders from kind of that generation, that era. You don't really see too much of that nowadays. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the fact that you can take your shirt off when you train, because that was something that I have always wanted to do.
You have to wear pants.
Pants. I did wear pants, but
you could just work out in your underwear.
Yeah,
I think you probably could.
Nobody would say anything. Wouldn't know.
Plus, it was hot in Tampa as well. It's like, you know.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
humid too, right?
And the East Coast is humid as hell compared to the rest of the country.
Yeah, but no, it was an awesome gym. I'm more used to the commercial atmosphere from the gyms that I've trained at for 24 years. But it was a really unique experience to have, you know, be in that sort of an old school style gym. And we haven't got, I don't know if we've got anything like that in Australia. There's probably 1 or 2 hanging around, but I haven't trained there.
Yeah. That could be a new business opportunity, huh?
Pro
Gear Australia.
There you go.
It's a franchise, absolutely, for sure. But I think there is that market that people do enjoy that sort of training style. You know, they want to be able to go and just throw weights around and be rough, and you know,
Ronnie
it's not
Coleman scream.
correct, and it's just like I'm here to train, and
going off telling you to keep it quiet and shit.
The lunk alarm.
The lunk alarm.
Yeah.
Oh man, Planet Fitness. I don't know if we've got that here or not, but the fact that their tagline is "We're not a gym."
Dude,
Yeah.
the best part is it's a judgment-free zone, but then they judge you if you work out too hard.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
What is that?
Yeah, I was Brian Shaw went into one of theirs, and just to see if he could max out every single machine.
I'm sure he could easily.
Yes,
Did he end up lifting a machine too, or something?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the new workout. If it's not heavy enough, you just pick the whole machine up.
They would be that company that's dumb enough to ban Brian Shaw from the fucking
Yeah.
gym.
Yes, they probably would.
Not realize who he is.
I think him
Absolutely.
and Devin went to one also, I think.
Okay.
I think Brian's been in them a couple times.
Yeah, I mean their whole business model is to get you to sign up and then never go to the gym. So
Yeah.
the whole floor structure is in a way that when they first tour somebody through, they keep the weights and the like heavy stuff all the way down in the back area, away from everything else. And then like they when they walk people through, it's all the shiny equipment and machines and blah blah blah. And that person's like, oh yeah, cool, I'll sign up, and then they ain't coming back because it's like you have to work hard to get results, and that gym isn't set up for you to work hard there.
They have everybody on a treadmill staring at you working out.
Yeah,
everybody's facing where you want to work out. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I gotta love that. So yeah, no, I mean, was in Pro Gear Gym for a couple of weeks with Mikey, and then we were going up to the tournament, the Sean Latimer State Classic in New Jersey, and so we flew to Philadelphia and met with yourself. You drove us across to New Jersey and had a great time at the tournament there, and I got crushed by like everybody.
You had a war with Tal.
Yeah,
you guys
that was great.
At it.
I thought if he comes up with the press, I'm screwed, but he didn't for quite a while. But I eventually figured it out. But it was because in that spot, like I don't know, both arms, like I get here, and it's just that's my strongest point, and it's funny for me because it's like that's the pad, and people are like so close to winning, but they ain't moving past this point, and it's like they're going, and they waste all their energy, like because I can see them, like they're like I'm half an inch away from winning, and it's like but you ain't gonna go any further.
Tal was actually he was pretty pumped that he got to pull you. He told me that that was exciting for him to beat a guy like with your name and like you being a figure in the arm wrestling world. So he was super excited for that opportunity, and it was a hell of a match.
Oh, it was great fun. It was just awesome to be able to meet so many awesome people as well. But that's one of those things is like I'm not an elite arm wrestler. I'm not at like the top level. I just really love the sport and run the club, and we go and train every week, and I compete as much as I can. But like my level isn't Paul Cruz. It's not like the top guys. And so if I'm going in a tournament, I'm probably going to get maybe 1 or 2 wins, get beaten. But I don't mind that aspect as much, but I know sometimes people can be very protective about their image, and they don't want to be seen as getting beaten, or they don't want to enter something when they're injured or not confident that they'll win, and so they don't go. And it's like, I don't care. I'll go out and get beaten by everybody, and everyone can think that I suck, but I'm going to have a good time doing it.
Yeah,
I've never actually won one match, so.
Yeah, I feel your pain. I was like that for the first 3 years, especially because we both starting in the super heavyweight division, and it's like, okay, let me start my career here with the biggest and strongest guys.
I'd have to lose a ton of weight to be slightly competitive, but maybe someday.
Well, that's the thing is like. The Aussie arm wrestler Jake Ward, he said that he doesn't usually like to compete because of that reason, that people will see if he gets beaten and then they write off his opinion, say, he doesn't, he can't win a match, he's no good, he's useless. It's like, don't listen to him. It's like if people who have that opinion of someone is just like whatever. They're obviously not.
I'm not a great arm wrestler, but I can beat Jake Ward. That's not nice.
Yeah.
No, but I see what you're saying. Like, even me, like, you know, not being the greatest arm wrestler, people just kind of write you off like I shouldn't even have an opinion on the sport, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That to that point, like, you see Devin likes to make prediction videos all the time, and he's always wrong.
Yeah.
And he's arguably, some people will say, you know, he's going to be the greatest of all time, or he is. I know a lot of people still say John, but the dude's a phenomenal talent, but he can't predict a match to save his life. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Just, I don't know. It is a strange way of thinking.
Yeah, it's interesting that there's those aspects to the sport where people have certain skill sets, you know, and some people, like for me, you know, the promotion, the commentary, the running events, and pushing the sport, doing podcasts, that's where my skill sets, you know, really shines, as opposed to my skill on the table. You know, where somebody like Devin, who is a phenomenal arm wrestler at every level, but maybe his analyzing of other athletes isn't, you know, at the quality that other people's would be, and that's why he, you know, he's more focused on what he's good at. And you know, when people ask him, "Oh, who do you think's going to win?" and he's like, "This guy probably." You know. So,
and he'll tell you too that he's terrible at that. He admits it all the time. He's like, "I'm so bad at predicting these," but you know, it's all in fun.
Absolutely. Well, that's the thing, is like sports analysts, people who are looking at any sport can have an opinion, and if it's an educated opinion and they're quite knowledgeable about what they're talking about, then you know, it's easy to find respect in what they're saying. They don't have to be like a high level arm wrestler for you to listen and value their opinion. It can be anybody, but if they are saying something that makes sense, that's very clear, and they're presenting it in a way that is easy to consume and easy to understand, you know, it's going to be more valuable than somebody who has the technical ability, but they just can't communicate it.
Yeah. And a lot of people are telling you who they want to win, not who actually is going to win. You know, like,
I do that a lot.
Like a lot of guys are like, "Oh, I think my hometown hero Paul Lynn's going to win because he lives near me." And, you know, but if you actually put some thought into things, you know, that might not be the case. You just want that guy to win. And, you know, your prediction is based on, you know, being a fan of that person or whatever, or a friend. Or, you know,
well, plus there's always that pressure as well. If it's somebody that is one of your friends or trains in the same club as you, and you pick against them, like, it's a bit of an awkward moment
on purpose sometimes. Like, oh, this guy's gonna get crushed, but it's like one of my good friends. You know what I mean? Carolyn said, "Matt, did you have a great time with the 98 percenters at the tournament here in the States? And do you have any fun stories?"
Yeah, absolutely. Had a tremendous time with everybody over there, and not just with the guys from 98%, but from all over the country. We ended up in California for a few weeks. I was in Connecticut, in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania for a bit, in Florida. It was, so many awesome people. And we had the tournament, the Sean Latterman State Tournament, and I think Mikey threw me in so many divisions because there wasn't enough people. He's like, "Oh, I'll just add Matt Connelly to that," and I'm like, I'm sitting there commentating, and then
he's like Matt Connelly versus Matt Connelly.
I still would have lost. You just go up in the middle like this.
Like, we just need the entries.
So Matt had to keep getting up from the commentary table.
I'm glad though that we got to hang out, like eat dinner and talk and like kind of have some casual time, because usually at a tournament I never really get to enjoy it because I'm doing something or busy. So it was cool that we had a little after time and got to eat after and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's one of the downfalls, I guess, of being the promoter or being the event runner, is that on the day everyone else is having a great time and you're just stressed to the max trying to get everything to work properly. Everyone's asking you a million questions, and it's like, there's so many different aspects of the event that you're trying to manage. And then at the end, even when it's finished and it's like, okay, let's get the after pool going, people are still talking to you about this and that, and when you don't get on the table, you don't get to meet the people that came to your event.
Right. And that's one of our smallest events. Like Winter Blast is the one where like I don't really get to, like, it's over and I'm like, what happened? You know, kind of like your wedding, like it's over and you're like, I didn't get to enjoy it at all. You know, like everybody wants to talk to you and shake your hand, but you don't get to actually do what you want during the event.
Yeah, I remember I was refereeing one of my first events, and I was running it at the same time. And I reffed the match. The match finished, and I turned to the guy who was doing the scores, and he said, "Who won?" And I was like, "I can't even remember who pulled." There was so many matches and so much going on, and he was like, "It was this guy and this guy." And I'm like, "You have to ask them. I can't remember." It was literally like 10 seconds ago.
That happened to me at the Maryland tournament with the '98 Antietam. Colby looked at me. He goes, "Did so and so just win that?" And I was like, it's like I forget already. It just happened.
You're like, I didn't know so or so.
Yeah, I was like, what?
It's like when you look at your watch and then somebody goes, "What's the time?" And then you got to look at your watch again because you didn't
even look. Yeah.
So
like you pull your cell phone out of your pocket, look at the time, and then throw it away, and then go, I didn't even look.
Absolutely. Yeah, but I think that was the first tournament that it was the second one. I went to King of Florida with Mikey, which was I don't remember exactly where it was. It was like a 2-hour drive from Tampa. But Mikey's got this Tesla which drives itself, which is really awesome. Like that's the first time I've been in a car that is self-driving, and it was so weird. It was just so weird, like because Mikey's so used to it. He's just sitting back and he's on his phone doing stuff, and the car's like turning itself, and I'm there like, oh my god, like that. But it was way more advanced than I thought it was going to be. Like it was predicting traffic ahead. It was changing the lane so that we would get a smoother trip through, and it would accelerate to get in front of people, and it would see somebody that wasn't doing the right sort of driving, and it would slow down, and it was wow, this is insane. So yeah, that was weird. I said to Mikey, like, it was weird to get used to it, and he goes, "Oh yeah, the first week," he goes, I had my hands like right next to the steering wheel, like it's turning, and I'm just like, oh. So yeah,
wow,
it was weird, man.
Yeah,
it's really cool though.
Now, was it weird, like just driving in the United States different from back home?
Oh, I almost got run over so many times because I'm looking the wrong way when I go to cross the road. I'm so used to cars coming this way, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's no one there, and I step out, I'm like, oh,
especially like in New York, dude, you'll get murdered doing it there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You step off the curb and you get fucking clipped from the other direction.
They won't think twice.
No, that's right. Yeah, they'll aim for you.
Yeah, they wouldn't even stop anyway. They'll just keep going.
Yeah, I was in California with Adam Wilmot, and he had hired a convertible, like a Corvette, and he had done some sort of stunt driving thing, and so he was fucking flying everywhere and skidding around corners and stuff. And then he pulls over and he's like, "All right, you're gonna drive now." I'm like, "All right." And so driving this like I don't know $100,000 Corvette through the hills of San Diego. It was like, and he's like, "You're too close to the edge. You're too close to the edge." I'm like, "Ah."
That's pretty cool.
That was fun. Yeah, but it's
was
the
he
whole time he's got
an Angry Bird?
Yeah, he was an Angry Bird. Yeah, he's a great guy. I really like Adam a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably spent the most time together on the show. So yeah,
that's cool.
He's a good guy. Yeah, and he's from Buffalo, New York, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Has a
I've
restaurant.
seen him. I've met him a few times down at like Travis's events, and
He was on the WAL also.
Yeah. He's a good dude.
He's got the barbecue truck, right?
Barbecue truck, yeah.
He was a truck. He sold the truck. He's now got a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good for him. That's better.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's Angry Bird Barbecue, and I think that they do like some pretty impressive sauces and stuff like that.
Oh, nice. I'll go leave some negative reviews on Google. Like, this guy drives like an asshole.
Man, I've never been in a car. That's the fastest I've ever been in a car, and I think it was. I've got to do the conversion. I think it was like 240 kilometers an hour, which is, I don't know, was that 160 or something in miles? It was just, it was insane. I was filming
160. Oh my god!
Through these freeways, like, and we're just flying past people.
Dude, when I was younger, I had this Cadillac that I bought, and I had it up to 152. But because it was a Cadillac, it felt like I was doing 20 miles an hour. Just like, like it just felt like you couldn't tell you were going that fast.
Right.
Like it just did not feel like you were going that fast because it was, it's a heavier car. It's not a sports car. So it's just like a very smooth 150,
Oh my god.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when you slow down to like a normal speed, like when you're doing like 35 or whatever, it feels so slow.
Yeah.
Like I can walk faster than this.
Yeah. That's funny.
So I know Australia is home for you, but could you ever see yourself living in the United States? Be honest.
My kids are here in Adelaide, so
that's tough.
Yeah, that would be the driving factor. But I would love to go there and spend like a couple of months and then come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of living there full time, like unless they were there with me, it wouldn't happen. But
now, could you kidnap them and bring them with you?
Well, they want to see. They're very into like YouTube and like all the creators from California and stuff like that. Like, people I've never heard of, but they're like,
they probably love to visit.
Yeah. Although, have you been to Disneyland? It wasn't that good.
Dude.
I'm trying to avoid that.
No, fuck that.
Yeah.
My daughter would love it, but oh my god, it's so expensive too. Disney World and Disneyland.
Yeah, and then they've got shops inside the park that you've got to buy like toys and stuff, and they're like 800% markup on retail. It's like
a little doll this big is fucking like $300. It's like, oh wow, that's
Disney. Disney is a scam. I'm telling you.
It totally is.
Yeah, for sure. But no, I mean, I had a great time in America, and everyone, as I said, was really friendly, really welcoming. That you guys have so many events going on and so much happening in the arm wrestling scene, like compared to what we have in Australia. So it was not overwhelming, but it was just like surprising in a way that there was so much happening and at all times, and like for us. Like I remember when we did AWE2 and we brought over a bunch of people from the US to compete on the card here, and for us, like that was a huge deal, to see like Jordan Seal, to see like Toddzilla, but in the US, it's like these guys are competing almost every weekend. So you can see they're like, oh yeah, there were 2 weeks they've got a match with somebody in Pennsylvania, and you're like,
like it's really normal to see all these top level guys for us because they're always somewhere. Or at Knuckles Up,
Yeah, I remember I was really excited when I first met Ryan Bowen. Like, he came down to Adelaide from Brisbane, and it was like, oh, this is one of the guys from YouTube, and it's just like,
I was disappointed that I had to meet him. No, I'm kidding. I love Ryan. I think Ryan gets a lot of hate, undeserved hate.
Yeah, I think so. I think one of the reasons is that he has that confidence, that self-belief, and he's like, I'm going to be a world champion, or I'm going to make these things happen. And people love to like just shit on that. And they're like, oh, no, you suck. And especially if you get a setback, like he loses a match. Oh, I told you you were shit. Like, you know, people love that. They love to
give
get
him
on
shit
that.
when he's pulling someone who's fucking heavier than him. And, you know,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
bigger.
in his own weight class, he's a fucking beast.
Absolutely.
You know?
Well, I think not only does he love arm wrestling, but his content creation skills and just his drive to continuously do it, you know, nonstop all year round.
Yeah.
No matter where he is in the world, what's going on, he still pushes content out. And I think that's a driving factor into why he's been so successful. He's just that relentless grind that he's willing to embrace.
Yeah, and now he's on a new love journey.
Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, he's hooked up with Chetna, and she is a top level arm wrestler in India. So he's been spending
her
time
on the podcast.
Yeah, she's cool. She's a good girl. Yeah.
Is Ryan a good lover?
Even
bye. Yeah, bye.
But that's the thing is that's been so weird for me is being involved in this sport, and like I never thought that I would go to India, to Ireland, to America, to all around Australia. You know, it's for arm wrestling. Like, when you get involved in the sport, and when we started the club, there was 3 people, and it's like, okay, and then to think that you're like, you're gonna doing your own promotion, you're gonna have the events from all around the world that you're going to be able to go to. It's like, how did that happen?
Yeah, that's cool. Was America like, did you have like a preconceived notion of how America would be, and was it different when you got here, like the community and how everything was, or did you kind of expect that it was going to be the way it was?
It was very similar to what I was expecting. I had been there once before, on my honeymoon 17, 18 years ago or something like that. Only briefly. I was in Vegas for 3 days and LA for 11 days, but I had lived in Vancouver in Canada when I was like 23 for 6 months. So I was familiar. I'm not saying that Vancouver is the same as America all the way across. Each state, each city had its own uniqueness, but it wasn't. I think for me, like, cities are the same everywhere around the world. You got a lot of buildings, a lot of people, a lot of traffic, and you know, you add those 3 things.
Was the arm wrestling scene different than what you expected here?
I knew you guys had a lot of competitions and events and stuff like that, but actually seeing it in person and realizing just how frequently you can compete. I mean, people could literally compete every week, you know, all year round if they wanted to, which is just so foreign to me. I mean, we have like 1 tournament a year kind of thing. So yeah, it's very, very eye-opening to see that, especially what we were saying before, you know, these top level guys that are constantly going against each other. And it's like, this would be a huge pay-per-view match for us if we did this in Australia. And it's like, oh yeah, it's just a weekly buddy match for us.
That's funny.
So I wanted to ask you a little bit, you know, everyone knows you are part of AWE, but what other things do you do as far as, you know, businesses, work, you know, things that maybe people don't know about your day-to-day life?
Yeah, so I invest in property, and that's where I get the majority of my income from is real estate investments, and have done that for the last 13 years, and running shared accommodation properties where I'll have, say, 5 individual leases in one house. So I'll get like a 3-bedroom house. I'll put a wall in the lounge, turn that into another 2 rooms, and then rent each room out individually. So that way, let's say I can get $1,000 a week in rent as opposed to $300 a week in rent. But then you've got to manage more people, and you know, the sort of tenants that want to live in that accommodation can be difficult to manage, and you know, everything comes with its own issues and problems. And it's sort of like, well, how much. Like, you got to pick your own battles. It's like, if you're going to enforce a rule, you've got to be there all the time, making sure that, you know, it's like if I said you can't smoke in your room, and then it's like, I know they're going to smoke in their room. People always do. But it's like, if I was trying to be on top of that, I'd have to be turning up at the house constantly and, seeing, and it's like, it's too much of a hassle. Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, it was sort of like, well, pick your poison as to what rules are important to you. Because for me, it was always like, I want this to be as passive and as stress-free as possible. So, like, whenever people would move in, and I would say the same thing, it's like, as long as you pay your rent on time, you don't destroy the house, and you get along with the other tenants, you'll never hear from me and you'll never see me. Like, you do those 3 things and everything's all good. It's one of those 3 things.
You ever have some really weird things happen, like people not liking each other, like something happened?
Oh, all the time. Absolutely. You put five strangers in a house together.
Yeah.
And
reality show.
Yeah. Each room, I mean, it was so many different things we had to keep adjusting as we would learn people's behavior and what we could do to combat that. So all the rooms have their own individual lock. And then I was using keys, got rid of the keys because people kept freaking locking their keys in their room or losing their keys. I even had a guy accidentally flush his keys down the toilet once.
Oh, Jesus.
And so I went with the pin lock ones instead. And it was like, that was such a massive time saver, because if somebody rings up and says, I've lost my keys, I can't get in my room, rather than them kicking the door in, which somebody did once, you can be like, okay, well, this is the code, and they because if they forget the code, this is your code, and when they leave, you just change the code out, delete that one, put a new one, as opposed to getting keys cut and trying to find the property manager and then find the tenant to give them a copy, and then your copy doesn't work when you get there, and it's like
that's a pain in the ass.
All those things are very frustrating. But people stealing off each other, fighting with each other, threatening to kill each other, that happens a lot. So people, like, we started with like a communal fridge and freezer and stuff in the main rooms, and that was like people just stealing each other's food constantly. So we put a fridge in each room. We just got like bar fridges and said, here you go, here's your fridge. Your room's lockable. Like, you keep your stuff in there. That way, no one, if anything is missing and somebody's been in your room, like they shouldn't have been. So it's all those little adjustments you got to keep making, because people just, don't get along. But, any sort of threats of violence and that sort of thing, you can't tolerate those actions. And it was very stressful. Like, if you get a message from one of the tenants and they're like, hey, this guy's just threatened to kill me with a knife and he's going crazy and he's ballistic, and it's like, oh man, like, okay, well,
good. Does he want to arm wrestle?
That's right. And you've got to figure out how you're going to get rid of this person, and you got to do it by the rules. You got to evict them properly, and it's like, so there was a lot of times I had to call the police and say, hey, I'm a landlord, I'm about to go do an eviction, I don't know how this guy's going to react, he's been very violent, I just need you to be my backup, because they won't do the eviction for you, because it's only the sheriff's officers or the bailiffs that can actually do that. The police can't enforce that law, but they can enforce, like, if that person's going crazy or if they're threatening to kill you or whatever, then they can. So it was just always like, okay, I've got a dangerous person. I've got to go in and tell them they need to leave the house and leave their accommodation, which is where are they going to go? Like, that's where they live. So for them
in Australia, you can't roll in all fucking strapped up with guns. Like here in America, you could just walk in there with an AR-15 and be like, "You're evicted."
It's a bit different with that. But it was concerning. It was, and it would be sleepless nights and stuff like that, where I knew the next day I had to go and kick somebody out, and I didn't know how they were going to react. And the simplest way for me to do an eviction was just to not have any discussion whatsoever, and it would just be like, knock on the door, they'd answer. I say, you're being evicted. Here's your paperwork. You need to leave right now. Just leave the room. I'll pack your stuff up. You can come get it at another time, but that's all I need you to do right now. And they'll be like, oh, didn't you get the message I sent you? Didn't you this email? And I'll pay the thing. And it's like, I'm not here to talk about that. It's over. This is what I need you to do right now, is just leave the room. Just leave the house. And that's all I need you to do, is no more discussion. Because if you start getting into a back and forth, then it becomes an argument and all the rest of it. It's like, no, the decision's already been made. Like you're evicted. Like that's it. There's no coming back from that. So yeah, it can be stressful.
So you get a property, and then what's the first thing you do? You split it up so that there's more rooms.
Yeah. So the first thing I'm doing,
maximize the space.
Absolutely. The first thing I'm doing when I'm looking at properties is like I don't even looking at the actual house itself. When I'm just looking at like say on the internet their ad for the house, the first thing I'm going to is the floor plan. It's like, can I make this into 5 rooms? Because if I can't, then
it's not worth it.
Then it's on to the next one. Yeah.
So
it's like a certain price range of houses in these areas. It's like, okay, let's look at the floor plan. Okay, yeah, that one I can make into 5 bedrooms, or I stick with that. And usually it's usually one wall that you can put up and then put 2 door frames in, and away you go. You've got another 2 rooms. But you have to comply with the safety standards and have 2 exits for each room and all that sort of thing. So it can get a little tricky, but yeah, that was always the first thing, was like, can I make this into 5 rooms? Because that's where I'm going to make my money on the rental income.
So once you get that set up, then you're like, okay, fridge in each room, number lock on the door, and then pretty much you're ready to go.
Yeah, well, I provide, so we share accommodation properties. So there's a lot of stuff that is provided from the landlord. So most of the rooms would be fully furnished, with bed, with the desk, with chairs, and then, blankets and all the bedding stuff, pillows. And then in the kitchen, you're supplying all the electronics, the appliances, the microwaves, fridges, kettles, toasters, all the cutlery, all the dishes, all that sort of thing. Plus, I provided the dish soap and toilet paper and that sort of thing, because I just didn't want people stealing toilet paper off each other, and I didn't want them having an excuse as to why they didn't do the dishes. It's like, oh, there was no dish soap. It's like, yeah, there is. There's like 30 liters of it.
Yeah.
The renters, are these people like anyone off the street can come rent, or is it like here? There's a lot of places that are similar to your setup, but it's like a recovery house, or people that had drug problems or something like that. Are yours like that kind of, like, will you take in people like that, or is it regular people?
No, when I started, because the houses that I could afford were in low socioeconomic areas, they were the worst of the worst tenants that couldn't get accommodation anywhere else. And, they were on welfare, drug addicted, massive behavior problems, stuff like that. But that's where I had to start if I wanted to get this thing up and running. And so for years I had, really, I guess not what you would say, terrible tenant. Like the people themselves were okay, but just that class of tenant comes with its own bag of different issues and problems. And they're usually a lot more violent. They're usually a lot more explosive in terms of their behaviors. But then as I progressed with where I could purchase properties closer to the city in better areas, was able to target like working professionals and people like that maybe they're staying here for a year. They don't need a whole house to themselves. It's just them, and they'll be here for a year, then they're going somewhere else. And so you can get a better class of tenant based on the location that you're in.
Here like people will buy those next to a college and then have like 6 college kids living in the house, stuff like that. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, with those leases, a lot of the properties around universities are really expensive for that reason.
Was it easy to transition into a drug dealer when you have tenants that will buy drugs from you?
Sure, yeah.
Now we see how you made your money.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I had to learn as well was that, and this was a really good service that they've implemented in Australia, because the vast majority of these tenants are on welfare. And if I relied on them to pay their rent, they would always be late, always forget, always overspend, not have the money. But the government put in a service where they, like, landlords can charge the rent, and it pays it automatically before it pays them. So that worked out tremendously well
here.
Right.
Like Section 8 or HUD or something, they'll pay it directly to the landlord. And That's
just
good.
worked it.
That takes away a big headache from the process for you.
Yeah. I mean, every day you're looking at who's paid their rent, who hasn't, what went wrong. And then you got to chase people up and they don't answer, and you go around there and they're not home. And it's like, it's just,
you gotta send Big Willie in with a baseball bat to collect rent every month.
Yeah. Well, the amount of people that I had, I've done a lot of evictions, unfortunately, and they're always stressful. I really don't like doing it. And I would try to work with people, like if they've actually like had an issue and they can't afford it that week, that fortnight, whatever. It's like, okay, well, let's just, next fortnight you can pay an extra $20. We'll get you an extra $20 for the next fucking 10 fortnights until you caught up. And most people will actually do that.
Yeah.
Any tenants ever try to pay you with like,
sexual favors? No. And another thing I learned with that lower socioeconomic class was that I only really take men into the properties, because the women that I've had in there from that class of tenant would always cause major issues. And so it was like, okay,
they bring their work home.
Yeah, it was some interesting situations that happened from that.
Well, Matt, I wanted to ask you, since we're on the real estate subject, what's the kind of the real estate situation in Australia right now? Is it kind of overpriced and crazy, kind of like things are in the States, or is it not as?
Yeah, it's crazy here right now.
Yeah, over here it's still kind of nuts.
Yeah, I think after COVID happened, the prices here like basically doubled for everything. Yeah. And it's still at that level. So for people trying to enter the property market now, I sold one of my properties that was in that low socioeconomic area. We bought it for like 140, maybe like 13 years ago, and sold it just recently for 730. Yeah. So, and that was an old falling over 3-bedroom house that had 1 bathroom and needed a lot of renovation work. And it was like that's 730,000. I mean, that's Australian dollars, so it's probably like 500 in the US. But
that's insane.
Yeah, and
it's the same thing here
in 13 years.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Is like
here, it almost happened overnight. Like your house is worth like 200,000, and a year later it's like 500,000. I'm like, oh Jesus. So it's a good time to sell your house right now, but
you can't move anywhere.
Go buy one.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, it's sort of in that position at the moment. But it's difficult, very difficult. I mean, it's probably the same cost of living standards that I found when I was over in New York. Like, the cost of regular everyday items and things like that were pretty similar. Yeah, but it just feels like everything is so much more expensive now. Like you go to the supermarket and just get a couple of things and it's $60, and you're like, how the hell is this $60? Like, it's a banana and a box of cereal. Like,
it's like a few items and it's ridiculously priced.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So in terms of getting into the property market now, it's very difficult if you're a single person, even if you've got dual income, to be able to save 20% deposit, of what, like $700,000 for a terrible house in a really bad area. It's really difficult. So there are ways to be creative, and I've had to do stuff where I couldn't get loans from the bank because they don't look at my accommodation properties the way that they should. They should look at it as a business, but they see it as market rents. Like, that's $300 a week. That's all you can get for that. And it's like, I get $1,000 a week for that. I can show you. And they're like, the computer won't let us put 1,000. 300 is the maximum.
That's crazy.
That's annoying.
Yeah. So it's like, I couldn't get a loan. It's like, all right, well, I still want to continue with purchasing property and stuff like that. And then it's like, okay, I've got to be creative. And so maybe you find a business partner that you can go in with, and they can get the loan, and then you work together and split the profits. And so I had to do lots of deals like that to continue. But my goal was always just get out of the regular 9-to-5 work job thing that was the dead end job that I hated for so long. And I was working full-time nights, and then I was doing all my property stuff during the day. So yeah, that's when I was like sleeping 3 hours every 3 days or something.
What were you doing for work before?
So I did security for 13 years, and then I moved into building management for a little while, and then I moved to a gym. So I was working full-time night shift at a gym, which I enjoyed. I really liked working there, but you know, working at night, it really just makes everything difficult.
Have you ever left raw shrimp inside the curtain rods to get a stubborn squatter out?
I've heard about that story. I think that's very clever, but no, I haven't had to do that.
Can you imagine coming home though, and someone's living in your house, and they're telling you like they live there now? Like, why can't you just beat the fuck out of them and kick them out of your house? I mean,
yeah. I don't understand that rule at all. I think it's completely backwards, and I don't think it would end well if somebody did try to do that at one of my houses.
Yeah, like wouldn't you hostily take it back over? You know, like I wouldn't just be like, all right, I'll go call a lawyer, and I'd be like, I'm coming back at night while you're sleeping. I'm gonna fucking choke you in your sleep. You know, like I'm getting my house back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, this the problem is that and this has been sort of exacerbated here as well with the government is more on the side of the tenant as opposed to the landlord. And it can be really, really difficult to evict somebody, and it's like, I have all the evidence they're destroying my property, and it's like, I'm going to get the bond back, which is like, 2 weeks rent or a month's rent, and they've caused $50,000 worth of damage. You know? So and it takes
you can keep the $2,000 deposit that doesn't cover anything that they did, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just the speed of being able to do evictions. Like if I did an eviction properly, like legally through their court system, it's like
3 months.
It's 90 days or something before they'll appoint a bailiff, and so you've got somebody that can stay in your house for 3 months for free. It's like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, like here, the minute someone misses rent, you file it right there, because you can always cancel it. But if you don't file it and they don't pay, you're wasting time. You know what I mean? So now, like here, if someone doesn't pay the rent, you go file for an eviction immediately. That way you start the process, and then if they pay, you can always cancel the eviction process or whatever.
Yeah. Well, the good thing from my perspective with most of the tenants is that when they sign up, like they get a copy of the contract and I get a copy of the contract, they lose their copy of the contract within 10 seconds of getting it.
I'm sure. Yeah.
And so, and it's got all their like rights and laws and stuff listed on that, but they've instantly lost it. And then, so a lot of the time when I would have to do an eviction, it was a lot of bluffing from my side, because I need them to leave now.
And they don't fucking know. So
exactly. So it's like, I can't do this legally, but I'm telling you.
You signed this contract and it says that I can evict you for absolutely no reason. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was a lot of that where you had to bluff people, and just because they've obviously done the wrong thing. They haven't paid. They've caused problems. They've done damage. Whatever. They know they've done something wrong. And it's like, okay, I just need you to leave, and very cordial about it. Like, I'm not here to discuss any of the stuff. Like, I just need you to go, and then that's the end of it. As opposed to getting in an argument or trying to change people's behavior. It's like, this is the rules. You didn't follow the rules, then you need to leave.
Yeah. Well, that's good. At least you have that set. And you have the proper way to go about it.
Yeah. But going about it legally is like the most ridiculous backwards way. You've got to apply to the tribunal, and you got to go have a hearing, and then they make a decision, and then it's like, and you have to pay to get to the tribunal. It's like $100, and the tenant doesn't have to pay. So it's so crazy. And it's like, here's all the paperwork, all the evidence, and then they're like, all right, in 60 days we'll send a bailiff and they'll evict them. I'm like, 60 days. So
So I guess you learned how to maneuver around that process.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. That's right. Well, I never went through that a single time. Because it's so ridiculous. It's like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Plus, the other tenants that are in the house are not going to put up with that behavior either. And that's what a lot of people have said. Like, well, how do you? because one of my properties is a proper boarding house. There's 14 rooms in it, 14 tenants. And people say, well, how do you manage 14 people at the same time? And it's like, I don't. The other tenants manage them. Like, if somebody's acting up, like there's 13 other tenants
on each other. Yeah.
That are going to be telling you what's going on. And
Johnny's not doing the dishes, and he left fucking,
Yep. Yeah. Well, it got to the point with the dishes that certain people would just never do them. And so we started, when somebody would start a new tenancy, we would provide them with like their own personalized colored dishes. So it was like, you get the red, the red dishes, he's got the black dishes, he's got the pink ones. And so you could see instantly when you look at the sink, it's like, oh, that's Johnny's bloody red plates over there. Like,
Did you give them the colored dishes according to race? Like, you get white dishes, you get red dishes, you get yellow dishes,
cream.
Yeah. All the dishes are different skin tones.
Absolutely.
I also wanted to ask you about AWE. You guys were on television in Australia, which is pretty cool. Anything new in the pipeline, in the works right now with AWE?
Absolutely, yeah. So we were very lucky to get on television here in Australia, and great Dave Stupid just comment there. Oh no,
that'll disrupt a conversation.
That's why I always wear gloves when I got to clean out a room. Yes. What were you saying before about that, Randy?
Anything new in the pipeline for?
AWE. Sorry. No, so we were on TV. They played our most recent event, which was the Night of Champions with Brett Coots taking on Lachlan Adair and Brett Coots taking on Mato Warangi Hedda Morris. So it was a right arm match and a left arm match, which we had a co-promotion with an MMA organization, Diamondback Fighting Championship. So that's why it's in the Octagon. We had high level production crews. And we were really happy with how the event came out. And so when we sent it to the television station, they were like, this is really good. Like, what else do you have? Can you provide us with stuff constantly? And we're like, yeah, that sounds good. So we've got our next thing, January 18th is when we'll be running our next event. And we've got a few people locked in for that already. Some of the bigger names in Australian arm wrestling will be there, and it should be a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Do you have anyone flying in from outside of Australia, or is it just all the Australian and New Zealand guys?
Yeah, they may be, but
I know you can't say, but yeah. Well, we're eager to see it then. That's awesome.
Yeah, that should be fun. But
nice.
Dave's in awe of AWE. I think. Yeah, but we're really happy with how the promotion is going and the production level that we've been able to put out. I think it stands as top tier quality in terms of the way it looks, the way it sounds, the feel of it. That we've changed the rule set so that it's more favorable for an audience to watch. There's a lot of things that we're trying to do to get more people interested in the sport of arm wrestling, and having 10-minute setups is not one of them. So it's like, let's avoid that. Let's avoid restarts, constant restarts of elbow fouls that were so micro that no one saw it. And, it's like, I want the match to start. I want to see a winner at each time. That's the direction we've been pushing in, and then have it high quality level, have good commentary, have great cameras, good lighting. The guys are wearing the AWE shirts that look awesome. So from that standpoint, I think we've really hit that high level, which will continue to do so.
Yeah, that last event was great, and Brett Coots is an animal.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys in Australia still recognize Ryan Bowen as an Australian?
He's in Australia at the moment.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's back. He's back for a little while, and then he's going back to India again.
Yeah,
but nice. He doesn't compete in the there's two organizations basically in Australia. There's us, the AWE, and then there's like the WAF version, which is AAF, Australian Arm Wrestling Federation.
Fuck those guys.
So they put on state tournaments throughout the year, and then they have a national event. But it's more so it's WAF, so it's like the amateur style, you know. Whereas we try to do like the professional style, people getting paid.
So it's nowhere near as cool as AWE.
No, but it's still a very influential force in the world of arm wrestling. But the top guys don't usually compete on their cards. There's a couple of reasons, but if you can get bigger opportunities or big matches internationally and have, say, a huge super match with somebody that might pay you $5,000 or whatever like that, you're not going to go to the state tournament instead.
That makes sense.
And I think speaking of WAF in Australia, Phil Rasmussen is now VP of WAF, right?
I'm not sure, but he is the president in Australia and has been for quite a while. I
thought I saw Devin was saying that he was like a VP in WAF now or something when he was there for the Over the Top 2.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if that's recent news or not, but I did see that, so I'll have to get confirmation.
He's been involved in the sport for a long time. They do a good job. They had the Over the Top 2 tournament just 2 weekends ago or something, or 3 weekends ago, and they obviously brought Devin, his whole family out for it. There was several hundred competitors, and they had 4 tables running, and it was a tribute to the movie, the Over the Top movie. So the whole stage and set was a replica of what they had in the film.
Oh, that's
4
cool.
tables, and and then for the final 8 people, they readjusted the stage and just made it on one table, and it had all the lights on it, and it looked sort of very similar to the movie, which I think was really awesome that they managed to do that.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty cool. As a cool event.
The thing that frustrated me was I was doing a live commentary for it, but it was just the setups and the fouls and the restarts started to get to me after a few hours.
It does.
So I was like,
it's not enjoyable to watch for that long. Unfortunately.
And especially like when you've got 4 tables running at the same time, the person who's running the camera is trying to find the best moment or the best match to film, but half the time they're watching a setup for 2 minutes, and then they miss a match over here, and they go to that match which just ended, and then they miss the match that's here, and they come back and that one's already done, and it's like just
that's
stick
a
with a bloody match. I think what they should do, or what promotions could do in those situations when you've got like a lot of tables that need to be run, you've got a lot of competitors that need to go through the classes, if you're doing a live stream, have a main stage table that's where all the cameras are, that's where all the lighting is, and put your marquee guys, when they come up through the tournament, put their matches on that table, because that's the ones everyone wants to see. And you can have other tables running, and maybe you have a camera on that, and you might put another stream up for like the side tables or whatever. But just sticking with one table and having 2 people come up and have their match, from the audience's perspective, it's so much easier to understand, easier to follow. And then maybe the commentators updating as to, we just had a war between these 2 guys on the side table, we'll see if we can replay that or whatever. But I think when you've got so many things happening and you're constantly moving between them all, trying to capture and missing it, and then you got I think there was a setup that went for 9 minutes or something, and it was like, and then they changed to the other table, and then they missed the stuff.
Oh my god!
So
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't through lack of trying. It was just, I think that there's ways to do it better.
Yeah. Well, one of my buddies went to Mac, the Mac events, with that new custom table they got and all that, and the day of the event, they changed the rules to, when you pin someone, you have to have them pinned for a full 3 seconds. So guys
at parallel, right? At parallel.
So guys were like, wham, and they're like, that's not a win. You didn't have them pinned for 3 seconds, and people were getting frustrated. I'm like, dude, yeah, like when you're in the moment and you're used to just regular arm wrestling, imagine having to hold someone down there for 3 full seconds.
Yeah,
Like
really
that's
adds a
like
different element, doesn't it?
WWF or wrestling, like 1, 2, 3, like so.
Kicks his leg out.
I heard a lot of complaints about it.
All right.
Especially when you change the rules at the last second.
Yeah. Well, I do really like that Mac is trying different things, and they've got a different table design. They've got different rule sets, and when they put their events on, that they're making adjustments on the fly. Sometimes you see Ian come out and be like, "Okay, we're going to do this from now on," or "This is going to be different." And I think their second event, they had an issue where people figured out with the angle of the table that they could sort of rest their arm on half of it.
And they had to redo it.
Yeah. So, but they didn't leave it as I guess that's just how it's going to be. They made the adjustments. They're trying to work to find the best way to present the sport of arm wrestling.
And I guess we all kind of do that. Like, you try something and you realize, okay, that's not going to work. And you try something different. Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to turn the air conditioner on.
I like that. I like the Mac table. It's a beautiful table, but it's got its own rule set to go with that table and that league, which is cool. But I think the 3-second thing, that's rough. That's a rough.
Yeah, one. I haven't heard of that at all. That's the first time I've heard it, and it'd be really strange. I mean, if you're a top roller and you've put your weight down, and you've got them at the pin line. And it's like, but how do you keep your weight on there enough to hold it in that spot?
Yeah. Like people were just, you're used to just pinning people quick. And then they were like, no pin. It's like, oh, fuck, But, I think maybe they'll get some feedback that people didn't like it and they'll probably change that rule or maybe they'll try it for a while. But I love what those guys are doing. It is a cool table and I like their league. They had that one event with the most super matches in one day ever, so that was pretty cool.
It's like 70 something, wasn't it?
72 or 71 or something, because someone had already had 70, so they had to go up like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I'm like, can you imagine that many super matches in one day, dude?
Insane.
Oh man,
fucking
especially if you were like refereeing it as well.
Oh god, shoot myself.
I think at the over the top tournament that they had over 900 matches take place, but it was a tournament format, not super match. But still, I mean, it's just
Was it triple elimination or something? Or
it's double, but
it was double.
The amount of divisions and competitors.
Yeah,
somebody had a count for Winter Blast the one year when we hit almost 600 entries, and it was like a ridiculous amount of matches. And I was like, wow. Like that's crazy
with
to think
98
of it that way.
Absolutely. With the Winter Blast rule set, what rules do you imply? Do you enforce? What structure of rule set do you have?
Yeah, just strict rules, IFA style. Which is similar to WAF, basically. A couple differences, but just classic strict rules. Up here in the Northeast for a long time, most promoters up here were using WAL rules. And then when everyone switched to strict rules, there was a lot of like turmoil for a little while because when you're used to the loosey-goosey wall rules and then you go to strict, there's, now you're being called on fouls that you weren't necessarily before. So but I think now, for the most part, everybody up here is starting to use the strict rules. So,
which do you like better?
I like the strict rules. I think it's more fair. I think it's better for the competitors.
I like the WA rules a little bit. WAL.
Fuck those guys.
I know, but
it's better for super matches. Probably makes it tolerable to watch.
It's fun,
But in a competition,
in a tournament setting, no, you can't really do WAO rules. But I did like it though. It was kind of fun.
A lot more fun to watch.
Yeah, but I also that's what got me into arm wrestling was the WAL and the Devin compilation videos. So
Yeah.
I hold it dear to my heart, so I'm a little biased.
I think the majority of people that I've had come through the club for the first time have said the same thing, that they've saw Devin's matches on WAL, or they saw John's matches on WAL. Is like the holy grail when it comes to getting people involved in the sport. And I think it was mainly because it was really easy to watch and understand. The rules were looser, so there wasn't so many restarts. You had these crazy characters, and the set design was cool, very intimate with the crowd right behind them. And
I love
the
that.
people that the characters they had on were very loud, aggressive, Matt Mask kind of like people that are larger than life, and Devin's trash talking people, and you got Michael Todd, and so it was real high level competition, but it was really fun to watch it as well. I think if they had gone with like strict rules, it would not have been successful at all.
Yeah.
Probably not. Yeah, it was probably a big part of the formula.
Yeah. Just trying to find what, like, if you're showing somebody arm wrestling for the first time, and you're like, hey, have a look at this video, and it's like, if it's a 6-minute video and 5 minutes 45 is them just setting up, it's like they ain't a fan of that sport.
It's tough.
For a 1 second pin.
Dude, if we as arm wrestlers are bored watching a super match, non-arm wrestlers are done forever after the
Absolutely. I remember Ryan Bowen fell asleep on one of the streams.
Did he really?
Yeah. It was one of the East versus West events or something like that, and I think it was because it was on at it started like 2 a.m. here in Australia, and he was watching it on his couch, and it was like, I don't know, 5 hours in, and he was like, I'm just gonna lay down for a second.
That's great.
I've always said I did not like those cards with 15 matches on them. Even 12 is too much, personally.
Yeah.
Like and when they're just going on and on and on, I'm like, I love arm wrestling. I don't want to watch 5, 6, 7 hours of arm wrestling.
Yeah. Especially when the top guys, the ones that you really want to see, they're right at the end, so you're just waiting for hours and hours, and it's like, but the time they get to them, you're like, I don't care anymore.
Well, it's true. It honestly hurts the product, in my opinion. It kills the quote unquote the juice in the room where everyone's all amped up and ready for these big matches. And I'll say the same, MMA, boxing, whatever. If there's 15 fights on, God, I don't want to watch all 15. Like,
just to get to the main event.
Yeah, give me a product that delivers in a shorter amount of time, but leaves me wanting to go to your next event. So if AWE put on a card that was, let's say, 5 to 8 matches, and it was awesome from start to finish, I'm coming back. I might be more inclined to buy a pay-per-view that I can pause and skip later to get through all the setups and all the fouls, and you know what I mean? So giving me less, in my opinion, as a consumer, you're actually giving me more.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's more focused, or it's more quality over quantity, and it's like when we did our event with it was just 2 matches. It was Brett and Lachlan, and Brett and Matt Hawaringi, and it was like, we don't need to have a whole card built beneath this, because we just want to see these 2 matches, and that's all we want to present to the audience. And it was over within 40 minutes or something, as opposed to having a 7-hour card with 15 matches, and out of those 15 you only care about 3 matches, and they were right at the end, so you had to sit through 5.5 hours before you got to a match you were interested in.
I don't need all that. Just give me 5 to 8 matches and I'm good. And I'll pay the same price for the pay-per-view too. You me personally, you wouldn't even have to change the price. I'll still, I break it down as like I'm paying per match. So you do the math, if it's $20, $25 and there's 5 matches, 8 matches.
Wait, you pay to go to those events? I just put my angry mask on and walk the fuck in.
Enemies of the sport.
Yeah, but But no, it is fun seeing the progression of the sport and what's working, what isn't working. How promotions are popping up all around the world. Just in Australia, there's clubs coming up all the time. There's more events. There's more people that are knowledgeable about the sport. And then, when you look at the US, and it's like events on every weekend somewhere. There's probably 5 tournaments a weekend across the country, and top level guys are competing there. And if you're a fan of the sport, like, just go along and watch. Like, you can see some of the best guys in the world going at it at your local tournament. It's just insane.
Yeah, it's pretty cool seeing it grow, and it's still growing. And we're rounding out the end of this year, and we'll see what 2026 holds for the sport. So definitely excited to see where things are going for everybody. So yeah,
for sure. And Winter Blast is in March, is it?
March, yep. March 28th, 27th, and 28th. Arm Gods is sending over a few guys to have some matches Friday night. Also, the tournament will be all day Saturday, so that'll be good. We're actually throwing one more event before Winter Blast, which we don't normally do, but we're throwing one in January. So we'll see how that goes.
That's the pre-blast.
Pre-blast. We call it facial blast, and then it's Winter Blast.
No. One day we might do like a summer blast or something.
Summer blast, fall blast, spring blast.
In the desert, sand blast.
Yeah, sand blast.
That'll be fun.
All leading up. Just a blast every month.
Yeah.
So did you beat your record of entries last year?
No.
585.
Almost every tournament in the United States last year had smaller turnout, and I don't know if it was because there was so much stuff going on, or I don't know. Everybody had a smaller turnout. So last year we hit about 500 as opposed to 585. But 85 entries could be like 20 people,
Yeah.
I mean, we had a team down in Maryland that didn't come because they had done super matches the week before at practice. So I was like, no way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, 500 is still really good, there, Brian's saying.
It's massive.
It's still good. It's still good. But, we're trying to – actually, I mean, he's from Canada. Like, Canada's our goal. Like, they have massive tournaments because the promoters there, for the most part, work together, where here in the United States, technically, we could have tournaments that big, but everybody hates each other. So that's part of the reason why we started the 98 franchise, is to try to get other promoters or people that want to throw tournaments working together as a unified network. And it's been working out really good so far. Ray Cody just had an awesome tournament. Josh Berger and Colby down in Maryland had an awesome tournament. So I think as all the franchise owners start throwing tournaments, things will just get better and better. And, 98's, I mean, you see 98 a lot more now, like across the country, like just in posts and feeds, or if you Google 98 arm wrestling, there's a lot of content out there now, because now we have 10 separate promotions working together as one, which is really nice. So I think, it's going in the right direction so far, and, we'll keep going in that direction as long as we can. And it's been interesting to see how things are developing,
Yeah. Oh, you're doing great. It's amazing to see that, you've got these franchises of 98 popping up all over the country, and looking to go international with it as well. And the more support for each other that you can derive, the better.
Yeah,
it's the goal. Grow it, grassroots, little bit by little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Through the Fingers says they've got Scott Evans on tonight. He is a great guy from Utah.
Yeah.
And recently won the Left Arm John Brezink Classic, I think, last weekend. So, yeah, he's a very, very cool guy. Yeah, we were in the house together as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to talk about that?
Certain things.
So how did Paul Cruz do it? No.
I
personally know how he did, but
do you?
He's not allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun on the show, and
Nice.
yeah, I think they're looking at February for when it's going to air.
I should text Greg and let him know that I know some of the outcomes of the matches.
And how much to keep you silent.
Yeah. How much for me to sign a gag order?
Absolutely.
I wonder whatever happened to Captain Pretentious. I only ever saw his arm wrestling practice with his friends. Does he ever come out to 98 events? I've seen him at Winter Blast. He comes to Winter Blast. But he kind of lives, 2-3 hours southeast of us. So he doesn't come to like our smaller ones, but I've seen him at Winter Blast and at other tournaments down that way, stuff like that. Some of the Virginia ones. But
is he the one that had the Furby?
Yeah. Yeah, and the like luchador mask and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a funny dude. Very creative fella.
Absolutely. Very good. Well, should we look at wrapping it up, Jurgen?
Yeah, I mean,
about that time, probably.
Unless Randy has any other weird sexual questions for you.
Weird sexual questions. No, man, it was good hopping on with you again. We're glad to see you. Glad you made it back safe and sound, and you're all time zone adjusted. Ultimately, the coolest thing I think about meeting you and having you in the States was that wherever you went, somebody was there to help you out and take care of you while you're here. And, we appreciate that no matter, who you were with or, was hanging out with you. It was nice to see that.
Did it cross your mind to just go the fuck home when that situation happened? Were you like, I'm at the airport, should I just buy a ticket and go home?
It was 4 hours of messaging people before you got back to me.
Really?
I got there at like 4 a.m. and then I spent from 4 to 8 just messaging everyone I could think of because I didn't want to have to pay again to fly back.
Yeah.
I rang the airline. They said, no, you can't change the date. Like you've already used half the ticket. So you can buy another flight, which would be like $1,500.
Yeah,
or and then I was like, damn it, what am I going to do?
How many people did you message before me?
I messaged you, but you were obviously asleep. And but when you woke up, you were the guy that came through. So
who saved the day?
That's right.
Hey, well,
big time.
You know what? No, the whole community is like that, though. It's not just me. If you would have reached out to anybody that got back to you, they would have found a way to help you out.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's amazing. And Dan Centrella, Dan Schwartz in New York, helped me out big time as well.
They're sweet.
Yeah. Took me around to the places to see all around New York and to tournaments in Connecticut and Atlantic City. And it's like, man, a community of people is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll be in Australia one day with the 98 and we can hang out with you guys down there. That would be great.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, looking forward to it. Hopefully it's not too far away.
That would be a dream come true, honestly. It'd be awesome.
Fantastic.
I'm going to end the stream now. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Thanks,
see you guys.
Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Contractually obligated.